I'm a fashion designer and I have a superpower, which is that I can make my own clothes. I'm also picky. Enter fall, my favorite time for fashion. I want to add some new pieces to my wardrobe and today I'm gonna make or thrift flip all of them. Okay, let's get into the video. The vibe for fall and winter this year is chic, but not fussy. Everything needs to work with my existing wardrobe and be practical for my lifestyle. With that said, sometimes I'm still a complete sucker for trends, so the first thing I'll be making is a burgundy top. I really love boat neck silhouettes, and tanks are perfect for layering, even in winter. This is a design I've been working on. The things I love most about it are the double layer fabric and the armholes that are not too low. It drives me insane when armholes are cut really deep. No one needs to see that part of my bra. And I perfected the shape so that they don't gap, even on bigger busts. The length is easily customizable too. By altering or making things myself, I get to have total control over the fit. And I'm increasing the wearability rather than ending up with another clothing purchase that sits unworn in the back of my closet for ages. I love to avoid that. Right here, I'm understitching the armholes and the neckline so it looks really smooth and the seam doesn't roll to the outside when I'm wearing it. I'm not used to the sewing machine, so the stitching turned out messier than I'd like, but I'm gonna leave it. It's not gonna be visible, but if it was, I'd redo it. I have to do a little bit of magic to sew this thing, which involves rolling it up like a taquito and saying a small prayer to the sewing gods that I don't catch any of the fabric rolled up inside. Obviously, I did this perfect on the first take. You'll just have to take my word for it. Like a lot of lined things, I'm going to leave a hole in one of the side seams so I can turn it right side out later. Tops like this are often folded up and cover stitched shut as the final step in assembly, so this is especially important since I'm choosing to close the hem from the inside. Okay, here we are. I am super happy with the fit. This has 15% spandex and the double layers make this really smooth. I love the shape of the neckline. I'm thinking of releasing a pattern for this, so comment below if you're interested in that. Okay, next on the chopping block. I got this shirt a while ago. I love the fabric. It's really thick and warm as far as button-ups go. but I am drowning in it, so I really want to crop it. Okay, as I was filming this try-on clip, I was really second-guessing cutting it, but ultimately I know I'm not going to wear it if it's this long. So I want to crop it so it's relatively short for a button-up. The generous fit is going to make it flare out and be a little more A-line, and I think that's going to be really cute. So to figure out how much I want to crop it, I'm going to pin it up. I can't decide if I want the hem to be boxy or if I want to keep the shirt hem shape, but I'll try the boxy first. Okay, I don't love this. It sort of feels like a PJ top, but that might just be because I'm still in my sweatpants. I like this length, but I think keeping the swoopy shirt hem shape is more interesting, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, I'm just measuring up to my new length all the way around and making marks, following the existing hem shape. I made sure to factor in seam allowance so it's not even shorter than I want when I go to hem it. Okay, this might look really short, but just remember how long this shirt is on me. And because of the way this hem is sewn, I have to unpick part of the side seam if I want to keep the same style. It looks like the fronts and the backs were hemmed separately and then the side seams were joined. No big deal. Now I'm just pressing a new hem and stitching it down, and I had to remove a button on the front so I don't sew over it. Okay, finally, these cuffs are way too loose on me and contributed to the shirt feeling messy. To fix this, I just need to move the buttons inward so the cuff is tighter. Doing this also exaggerates the volume of the sleeve, and I'm kind of getting a bishop sleeve effect. I like this, it feels really dramatic. Okay, I feel so good in this. This is one of my favorite lengths. It gives some waist definition without being tight. It's more laid back. Between you and me, I have already worn this shirt 3 times since filming this video. Okay, I think I need something to wear with my new tops. Denim is not going anywhere, so the next thing I'm checking off my wish list is a black denim maxi skirt. I scored a pair of Levi's 501s for $4 at the thrift store. They fit me in the hips and the legs, but the crotch has some weird fit issues that I'm not sure I can fix. Therefore, they're destined to become a skirt. First, I'm unpicking the inseam. Oh my god, this took so long. I was suffering by the end. don't know if the camera picked it up, but my hands were shaking so bad. This is thick thread too. It's not your standard maxi lock. Okay, anyway. When I sew this back together, I want the skirt to be straight and not flared. So I need to carefully control how much I overlap the fronts and the backs. And the skirt needs a slit, otherwise I'm going to be walking around like this. These jeans were a little bit big in the waist, so I remedied that by taking them in at the same time that I closed up the back. I drew a new seam and checked it against my measurements so I know that it'll fit, and then I flat felled it so it matched the style of the denim. I also shortened the back rise a little, and I made the waistband match the new waist measurement. I covered up the alteration with the belt loop. Nobody's gonna know. Okay, returning to the front. I'll be honest, I discovered a detail about these jeans that made me realize they were not going to cooperate easily. No matter what I did, I couldn't get the front to lay smoothly and have the amount of overlap that I wanted. It looks fine from the front, but it totally bubbles when you see it from the side. This is because the front fly is angled instead of being perfectly perpendicular to the floor. As long as that's true, there will always be an awkward point here. I was so annoyed that I didn't even film most of this, but trust me, all you would have seen is a bunch of seam ripping. And you already know how I feel about that. After re-sewing this, probably 3 or 4 times, I finally admitted defeat and just finished the skirt, doing the best I could. Obviously, I got pretty frustrated and just sort of lost it at this point. Looking back at the footage, the fit isn't as atrocious as I thought it was in that moment, but clearly I thought it was bad enough that it made a better scarf than a skirt. I had to get this out of my system or else it was going in the trash. Low-key though, I felt like this was a sleigh. Anyway, here is my finished scarf. Not only will this look good with my red top, but I feel like styling options are pretty limitless. Big sweaters, long sleeve tops, leather jackets, wool jackets like the one I made in my last video. Knee-high boots look amazing with a slit, as do Adidas Sambas, which you can pry from my cold dead hands. Maybe I'll make more maxi scarves in the future so I can redeem myself and also have one in a classic blue wash. Okay, on to the final piece, the underdog. I have been losing sleep over this Rick Owens sweater. It was a backup idea, and I didn't even think I was going to attempt this, but the perceived failure of my denim skirt had me sewing out of spite. I'm obsessed with the drape of the sleeve and the way the rib knit goes from side to side rather than vertically. Also, there's no shoulder seam, so however this was constructed is probably deceptively simple. So simple, in fact, that I didn't even make a pattern. I have this chunk of wool rib knit. It's super thick, so thick that it barely stretches. It's also really warm. I start drafting a shape in chalk using some measurements I took earlier. It was just wide enough to fold in half and be the length I need for the sweater. The great thing about this is I get to use the selvages as the hem, which won't require any extra finishing. I know this shape looks weird, but stay with me. The magic happens when I sew this together. It only has 2 seams, the underarm seam and part of the straight edge. Using a zigzag stitch, I close those up. I turn it right side out for a quick try on. Instantly, I am in love with the results. This feels so chic and cool, and it took all of 30 minutes. Amazing. I could have stopped there, but I wish the sleeves were slightly longer, and I was a bit concerned about the raw edge of the neckline. I didn't have enough fabric to recut the top, so I made a second one out of scraps with the intention of making this top double layered. It's worked in theory, but remember when I said this fabric doesn't stretch? When I sewed the two layers together, it became almost impossible to put on. The longer sleeve and finished neckline was nice, but it wasn't worth suffocating for, so I seam ripped it apart and reverted to the single layer. Amazingly, the raw edges aren't unraveling. I think I'll leave them in that case, because hemming them will just create bulk. Either way, I'm obsessed with this sweater. I really want to get some different, thinner rib knit fabric and try making a double layered one again. It'll be stretchier, softer, and lighter weight. And I'll get some nice gathered effects from the thinner fabric. I can also see how I could refine the shape a little bit too. And even though this only has one sleeve, I'm super warm. I think I could wear this on a night out, no problem. I can't believe that this ended up being my favorite piece. I almost didn't make it, and it took the least time out of everything. Okay, that was my adventure making some new clothes for fall and winter. I'll keep you guys updated on how I wear them over on Instagram. I think it's no secret that the one sleeve sweater is my absolute favorite, but which one was yours? Tell me in the comments down below. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one.